Hello, world. Man, it is a beautiful day today. It's supposed to be in the low 60s. Absolutely, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to need a haircut here pretty soon. I've got a set of wall trimmers that I usually cut my own hair. Saves me a little money. I don't have to spend 16, $20, whatever it costs to go get your hair cut nowadays. It's just it's a pain in the ass to cut your own hair. It's nicer when somebody else does it for you. But neither here nor there. Let's get into part three. Let's talk about fourth and fifth grade. To me, I said it was another school. It was actually another building within uh, the Aledo area where they had all the school buildings. When I was going to school, kindergarten all the way up through high school was all on the same property. It wasn't all in the same building, but it was all in the same property. Um, the fourth and fifth grade buildings were all the way at one end of of the north end of the property, and it was maybe it was the original high school at one time or something like that. It was just like a long hallway with classrooms on either side, and then it had the gymnasium, the original old I say original, the very old gymnasium out behind it, where we went to play butts up or whatever. Not butts up, but what's that? War or whatever with the big balls, the big orange or the big red balls. Hell, I don't remember what that was called, but that was that's fourth and fifth grade, and I was in resource. I told y'all the resource teacher I started out with was I think about in third grade, and that was when they had figured out that mathematics was not an issue with me. She also figured out English wasn't an issue with me, but she knew I had issues, so she kept me in regardless, um, simply because of the issues I was having. Uh, I think I sucked on my finger, my first finger on my right hand. Gosh, until I was, I'd like to say 13, maybe 14, maybe 12. It might have been 11, but I'm thinking 13 or 14 years old. That's an insecurity issue. I wet my bed until, gosh, I was maybe 10. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when I stopped wetting the bed, but and that could have been a prostate issue. Most likely, it was insecurity issues. From all the traumas and abuses I was suffering from. Uh, I remember there was a movie about a young kid. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of it. Uh, that he was a runner, and he'd always run home from school, and because his mom, would embarrass the shit out of him by pulling his bedwetted sheets out and hanging them from the second his bedroom window to dry out. And he was always so embarrassed about it. And I guess there was this new girl that moved in next door or something to that effect. But I wish I could remember the name of that movie. That was a good movie. Another good movie was My Bodyguard. That came out in 1980 with Christopher Makepeace and Adam Baldwin and Matt Dillon, I believe. And that was a good movie. That was a real good movie. It was real inspirational. Of course, it didn't come out until after I was 10 years old, but which would have been fifth grade and probably sixth grade or so before I saw it, sixth or seventh. But yeah, fourth and fifth grade, man, I had one bully that would torment me, and he was in my grade uh, all the time. He'd pick on me, out while we were playing around, between classes, or he before school started, or whatever, and that carried on throughout up until high school. This one specific bully, um, he knows who he is. uh, yeah, I don't like to name names. There's no point in naming names. It's just it's irredundant, irredunculous. But fourth and fifth grade, man, I just that's when they started, instead of having one classroom the entire school day, they'd move you from one classroom to another classroom. You'd take like half a day in this classroom, half a day in that classroom, or an hour or so in this classroom, or when they start introducing you more to music, et cetera, et cetera. And you know, honestly, I'm thinking I had a pretty good a regular teacher. Um, in I think it was either fourth or fifth grade. I don't remember which, but I do remember that bully I was talking about. We got into a fight, and I think it was when I was in fifth grade. We got into a fight and went to the principal's office, and that principal said, "What do you want me to do? Do you want me to take you to the boxing ring and put gloves on you?" And I was like, "Yes," you know. And he wouldn't do it, And if he'd have done that, I probably would have fought my bully. I mean, really fought my bully, because the bully was actually picking on me, and he had me pinned down, and he hitting me and shit like that, and I wanted an adult, even though I didn't trust adults, but I wanted somebody to be there and it to be a fair fight, with maybe some rules or something, and not to be, maybe a couple of lessons. I don't know, something. Hell, when my mom threw me to the sharks, so to speak, or threw me to the wolves, she said, "Here, you're gonna have to fight your own fights," but she didn't give me any tools. She didn't teach me what I needed to know, or get me to the right teacher, or whatever, to teach me how to defend myself. So, that's why I suffered so much. Even though I was bigger than most of the other kids, I was very uncoordinated, and uh, very awkward, and I had low self esteem. From first, from kindergarten teacher and first grade teacher, et cetera, et cetera. And so I suffered tremendously. But that's neither here nor there. I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of any noteworthy events in fourth or fifth grade, other than, you know, I think that's about it. I know there was a girlfriend, or a girl, that that I really liked, and I mean, I even had a poster board where I wrote her name on it and put it on my wall, and I wrote her a letter. And I remember I went to school one morning, dressed in my nicest clothes, and took that letter and put it on her desk. And then I went to the bathroom like a scared little kid, which is what I was, and waited until the classroom bell rang. And then I came back into the classroom, and she came and talked to me and told me that her parents didn't allow her to date, which was quite understandable. I just I I was just shut down. I was already introverted. I was trying to break out of my shell as much as I could, but it was just so difficult. So that shut me down a little bit more. And uh, that's about it, man. I mean, we're at 8:25, 8:30 almost. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one off. God, if y'all can remember the name of that movie, I'm trying to even remember the name of the actor. It was probably about the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, about the kid who he was a track star, but he was wetting his pants until he was, in high school, and they were wetting his bed, and his mom would always uh, give him crap about it, and take his sheets and put them out in their on the second floor, out of his bedroom window to dry out. And God, I can't remember the name of that movie. It was a good movie, but apparently I haven't seen it enough. All right, guys, and of course, My Bodyguard, not The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner. No, 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 no. My Bodyguard, 1980. Check that out. All right, guys. I truly do love each and every one of you. Truly and deeply, I do. Carpe diem. And as always, catch you on the flip side.